Well, you know what? I have a 256 in my Zoom also,
Yeah.
which if it's just recording to one single
What is that,
mono track,
is that like a week?
it gives me 469 hours and 32 minutes.
That's more than a week.
I don't even know how many hours are in a week.
I mean,
does that
it's
work?
24 times 7, but I'm nowhere near smart enough to know the answer to that. I mean, that'd be like, well, it's 175 minus 168. That's what it is. 168, I think. It's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Sticking to it.
All right, so we should explain why we skipped a week then.
Yeah.
Because I think this is for the betterment of the show that we're doing this. So
I agree.
I'm sure people don't realize this because the show always comes across as being, us at the top of our game and whatnot. But, it gets recorded kind of haphazardly because we don't have a weekly schedule for recording it. We only have a weekly schedule for releasing it. So there's definitely times where we have recorded at the last minute and whatnot. And of course, we were also trying to record the show during what for us are normal work hours for our day jobs. And so then, anytime something popped up for either one of us, we had to say, I can't do it anymore. So starting with this episode, we've dedicated one evening a week to recording the show, which should at least make it more difficult for something else to get in the way. So
yes,
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. It's nice that we're doing it earlier in the week. And, I wonder how, on top of it I am, when we record normally. Because usually we record just, around 11:30 my time in the morning.
Yes.
Before lunch.
8:30 my time.
And 8:30 your time. But now we're doing it at 9 o'clock my time and 6 o'clock your time.
Yeah.
So, I mean... I think that it'll be good. It might be a little bit of an adjustment. I feel like as I get older, it's tougher for me to rally after 7:30.
That's pretty crazy, man. Because last night you went until after midnight on the stream. I was shocked. I would have been half asleep.
Well, I mean, it was hard not to because there was a lot of people watching and it was just exciting. And as I've gotten older, it's harder to do those streams, but it's not. It's all in my head.
Yeah.
And if I know I have something to do, in the evening, beyond that time, then I am totally in that mindset of doing it. You just crack a tooth?
No, there's something in there. I just brushed my teeth because, as we've discussed before, in this house, you don't talk into a microphone with a dirty, stanky mouth. But there's something, it's probably a tomato seed or something from dinner.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I think they having a set night to record.
Yeah.
Which do we want to say that it's what night it is or no?
No, because what if we change it later and then we have to explain again? It doesn't matter what night it is. The show is still going to come out at midnight, Sunday night / Monday morning. And that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just us getting our SHIT together.
I just think over the course of the week, I'll think of things to talk about. And then, I end up forgetting, when we record because I think it's going to be better for me mentally to know, okay, this is the night I record. Cause then I'll be sort of working towards that in my head. And I think I'll show up better. I mean, between the two of us, I think I usually show up more prepared than you do, but
100%.
Yeah.
I ain't going to deny that. You're very good at being very prepared. And I wish that I was half as prepared for anything as you. But I think it'll also be good because I can also do the same thing where I'm constantly writing things down. I used to have over here, I used to have a book, it was a journal type thing that I would write my, weekly things down in. But it was just too big because it was open all the time and I couldn't fold it back. So I got a more modestly sized.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Don't show that on camera. That could have secrets of your show on it.
It doesn't have secrets.
All right.
It has secrets.
Yeah.
Remember the old Conan O'Brien sketch where it's secrets?
No.
Okay. Well, don't worry about it then.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
So yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's probably enough of that. But
yeah, I think it's.
What is this? Is it 39 we're up to? Is this 39?
Yeah. We're coming. We've almost hit a few more episodes that it will be my age.
Yeah.
Would that be like my golden episode? Because isn't that like golden anniversary or not golden anniversary? Golden anniversary is like 50 years.
50 years
being married.
Yeah.
But it's like isn't it like a golden birthday or something like that when you're say like my birthday is on the 26th and I turn 26 on the 26th. Like it only happens one time in your life.
Oh, I never thought about that. Well, mine was a long time ago then. So.
Okay.
But I never thought about
Well, but
that.
I'm saying like but birthday or I mean if we're like episode 44.
Yeah.
And I'm 44.
Yes.
When we're recording episode 44.
Yeah. And then
so
two episodes later will be
episode.
episode 46. And then
it'll be yours.
It'll be mine.
And then it will never happen again.
No. You know what?
Unless we reboot.
I was just thinking this year, right? It's 2023 and I'm 46. So I've lived exactly half my life in each of the 2 millennia during which I've been alive.
Wow.
So like
that's
starting
crazy.
next year, more of my life will have been after the year 2000 than before. That's not really meaningful, but it was interesting to think about.
It is in a way. Do you ever think about how, like the year 2000, like growing up, the year 2000 seemed like so far in the future.
Yeah.
And, like everything's going to be different. I guess that says something for like people our age where we were young enough and privileged enough to like live the life that we had lived.
Yeah.
Where we think, in the year 2000, it's going to be so crazy. And then,
but I mean, a lot of the stuff I think that we thought was going to happen or that people would predict would happen has kind of happened. I mean, technology wise, like you can't get the little tiny pizza and put it in the food rehydrator and get a big pizza. That's true. But we do have Instapots.
Yeah.
So, which, on a conceptual level actually isn't that different.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
And we have like all the streaming services, and I mean, I went on my rant already about how much I hate my phone, but smartphones are pretty amazing.
Yes.
Yes.
That's true. That's true. You think about 2001: A Space Odyssey, where they're, calling Earth from the space station,
right?
And they're talking to somebody on a video phone. Yeah. It's just like a CRT.
We have that. We have a space station. It's orbiting Earth, so it's not as exciting, but it's there.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I think what it all comes down to, everybody thought by now we'd have flying cars. So, yes, there we've gotten a little bit hosed. But, I mean, you see how bad people are at driving just on pavement. Like,
oh my God,
flying cars would be way worse.
Yeah, like everybody would be at risk.
Yeah.
Like if you go off the road, you're gonna like go in the ditch or something. But imagine you go off the air, like the road in the air, and you just eventually like spiral out of control and crash into somebody's house,
right?
Like miles away, probably. Like it would just feel like you could die any second. Like,
well, I mean,
does that make sense?
I already feel that way.
Do you think about that a bit? Because I kind of do sometimes.
About dying any second?
Yeah, well, I mean,
as I've gotten older, my dad was not that much older than I am now when he died. So, I think that I'm getting to the age where, like, if I died of a heart attack, somebody'd be like, wow, that's young, but not like crazy out of line young.
Yeah.
But I don't do the kinds of things that I would say that generally someone that dies of a heart attack. I don't smoke. I don't lay on the couch all day. I try to get exercise. I try to eat healthy. So like, I would be shocked if I died of a heart attack, but you can't discount, especially with my family history, you can't discount the possibility,
Yeah, and you always hear about things about how people are so healthy and they still like die for whatever reason, and it's always like the most unhealthy people that live the longest.
Well, Steve Jobs, right? He was like super hecka healthy guy, and then got whatever kind of crazy cancer. Was it pancreatic or something?
Exactly. So, I think about that sometime, where it's like, like what if I just like died like right now? Like, what if I had some sort of like weird? Because so my grandma died. You know, when my mom was, I was in second grade, so I would have been like 10, like 8 or 9 when she died, and my mom had me when she was 29.
Yeah.
So I am older now than my mom was when her mom died.
Yeah.
And my grandma died because like her and my grandfather went out for dinner.
Yeah.
And something happened where something ruptured in like one of her intestines.
Oh my God.
And it started like leaking out.
Yeah.
Like she was totally fine.
Yeah.
She didn't feel good.
Right.
Like that night.
Mm-hmm.
And like died the next day from it.
See, I didn't even know that was a thing. So now I got one. I got one more thing to worry about.
I mean, it's just like a random thing. And what is like weird is like how it got all like into her system and everything. And I remember seeing her in the casket and my mom saying like, look at how she's like so like puffy.
Oh my God.
Like her, like, like bloated from it.
Yeah.
And it just like, just happened kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just can you like, go out to dinner. It's like, oh, I don't really feel that good, because, like if I go out to eat and I don't feel good, it's usually just because I ate too much and all I want to do is like put on pajama pants and lay on the couch. But I mean, if you're like, oh, I don't feel good, and you just kind of, it's not food poisoning.
Yeah.
It feels like something else.
But it wouldn't feel that, you wouldn't be concerned, right? It's like it happens.
No.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, just go to like, I think like if that happened to my wife, I'd be like, oh, like, may just go to bed early tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, it's just kind of a messes with your mind thinking about that could happen so quickly.
Yeah.
Not to start this whole thing off with
death. Well, I did have in my notes, I was going to bring up, since the last time we recorded, Paul Rubens passed away.
Oh, yeah.
And, I was surprised I didn't know he had cancer. So.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
Me either. Were you a big Pee-wee fan?
I mean, I don't know if I'd say I was a big fan, but certainly when Pee-wee's Playhouse was on, that was like must-see TV for everybody, even adults.
Yeah, I never really watched it that much.
Oh, I mean,
although I do, I love Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
I mean, if you like Pee-wee's Big Adventure, you should try watching some Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, well, I've seen it.
It's got Lawrence Fishburne. That's cool.
Yeah,
it's Cowboy. I forgot his name. Cowboy something.
It's I recently watched Pee-wee's Big Adventure with my kids.
Yeah.
And I just put it on with like zero context.
Oh yeah, you told me you were going to do that with movies, right? Because you would get pushback if you tried to sell it to them, right? So you're just like, I'm going to just put this on and not say anything, and yeah.
Yeah, and see if they get into it. I don't know if we talked about this during the podcast before, but
I don't remember.
I did that with.
Do it again. It's fine.
I did it with Pee-wee's Big Adventure. It was about a year and a half ago. And it's even like for me, like I love that movie, and watching it now, like through a modern lens, it's like amazing to me that it was even made.
Oh, for sure.
Because it is like, it's complete nonsense.
Yeah.
It's just like little vignettes of like ridiculous stuff. And my kids are just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And, my son is just watching and he's just like, why does he act like a little kid?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just how he is.
I wouldn't, if somebody wanted me to explain the Pee Wee Herman character, I wouldn't be able to. It's Pee Wee Herman. I don't.
It is impossible to explain.
And I think for me, like, because I started watching Pee Wee's Playhouse, I mean, I think I was in 6th grade when that started, and then I went and saw the movie. I was too young. Like, I didn't even question it. It was just like, that's the Pee Wee Herman character. There's nothing to understand. I don't think it's just the character that he came up with.
And it's just kind of amazing how much like unlimited creativity there is to him.
Yeah.
Really, because it's just absolutely like ridiculous. Like I didn't even know how you come up with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Without being on hard drugs.
Maybe he was. I don't know. It's hard because like to this day, like whenever I think of Paul Rubens, I can't help but think about him getting in trouble for the theater incident. But it's funny looking back on it now to me, because it's like, what you know, he was in an adult movie theater watching an adult movie, right? Like, really, you're going to start clutching your pearls because he, you know, decided to start whacking off? Like, is it really that big of a step forward? Like every other dude in the movie theater isn't playing pocket pool anyway, right? Like, all he did was just take it out. Like, you're 90% of the way there. Like, anybody that goes and sits in an adult movie theater, that's like already a kind of a creepy, weird thing to do.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like that's fine. But then once he starts like taking, you know, self-servicing, now it's a huge deal.
It's like you're at this movie you're like watching a porno like in a movie theater. It's like, what else are you supposed to be doing?
I don't know. I think it's the whole idea of going to a movie theater and watching a porn movie to me is very odd.
Yeah, it's crazy, but that was, for the longest time, that was the only way to do that. But it's just, you know, like, what else are you going to be doing? You're just like putting it all on the highlight reel for like when you get home.
Right.
Like are people like staying for the whole movie?
Right.
Like who like is going to stay and watch the entire thing?
And just to be clear, I'm not defending what he did. I'm just saying, like, I don't see what's so shocking about it above and beyond the fact. You know, it's not like he was the only person in the movie theater. You know, if he had gone and seen, like, The Little Mermaid and done that, okay, now we got a huge issue, you know?
Yes.
But it's like, that's the point of, isn't it? I mean, I don't know. I've never gone and watched an adult movie in an adult movie theater, but, like...
It's absolutely the point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even understand, like what people are thinking he was supposed to be doing. What is anybody supposed to be doing? I
mean, I guess, you know, he was a child entertainer, I guess. That's, you know, not helping. But at the same time, it's like, I don't think the Pee Wee Herman character was really originally come up with in order to entertain kids, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think it was one of those things where, like, we're going to give you a Saturday morning cartoon. And like I said, I knew adults that watched the show.
Mm-hmm. And it's just, you know, it's just ridiculous stuff. It's just like, I don't think that it is aimed at any, like, age demographic. It's just like, if you like weird stuff, you're probably going to think this is funny.
I don't know. I think my point in bringing that up is just, okay, we got to talk about that in a second. But I think my point in bringing that up is just like, to me, it's the you know, the pearl clutching is what just makes me roll my eyes, right? Like,
yeah, and well, especially now.
You know, if it came out like, oh, so and so was in an adult theater doing whatever, I mean, my reaction would just be like, oof, you know, like,
yeah,
probably shouldn't be doing that when you're a famous person, but it's just not a good look.
But like now
but it's not like I'm gonna, you know, be, oh my God, this is horrible, and you know, he has to, you know, have his career taken away from him and blah blah blah. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, that kind of stuff, it just like has happened.
Yeah. Anyway,
repeatedly.
What are you drinking out of over there?
This is just like a big cup that I got for free.
Oh my God, I didn't even see the bottom of it. That thing is huge.
It is enormous. It was like I mean, I don't know if I want to say the name of the company on it.
No, do not. In fact, you should put painter's tape over stuff like that. We're not giving out free advertising.
I didn't think about it. Well, it's an insurance company.
Oh, wow. Hey, you know,
that's
probably
for like something I was doing for work.
That would be like our demographic, probably. You know, that's really at this point. We should be like getting sponsored by like life insurance companies, right? Because if you're listening to the show, you're probably about our age. Do you have life insurance? You don't? Well, then you should call, you know, Company X and talk to them about term life insurance.
Yep, like New York Life.
Hey. No. Anyway, I was kind of surprised. Can I say this? I was kind of surprised. Episode 38, for all the talking I was doing about the JFK assassination.
Like nobody.
I thought, I'm not saying I wanted that. I'm just saying I thought like, oh man, we're going to get some comments about that one. And it was like nothing, which is fine. That's not why I was talking about it.
Nothing.
Yeah. What else? Oh, so I told you this already, but other people don't know. So I got my Laser Bear order today.
Oh, yeah.
Which, the point of ordering that stuff in the first place was because I have that GC loader coming, which I already mentioned in the last episode. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, I wanted to have the little thing to stick in the orifice you know, yeah.
I mean, I love that word orifice. That's like one of my favorite things. I love to say
I feel like you
dive.
like it for dirty reasons. Like, just I could see the look on your face,
Well,
like, ooh, orifice.
I mean, orifice is like, you know, it's funny like the word dongle.
Oh, I love the word dongle.
Yeah. But orifice is like, you know, I like to say when I have a lot of something, I'm like, oh man, I got this stuff like coming out of every orifice.
Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard you say that.
Yeah.
But you know, because I've had the mode in my Saturn for a long time, but I didn't ever have anything sitting in the hole where the ODE or where the optical drive was, right? And it just kind of looks like, you know. But for whatever reason, I didn't buy the thing to you know, stick in there, which also has the SD card slot on it, so it's not just cosmetic; it's functional as well. But then, you know, I got the X Station put in my PlayStation, and, you know, I guess because I love the PlayStation more, I wanted it to look clean, so I ordered the thing from Laser Bear to stick in there. And once I saw how nice that looked, I'm like, well, there's no way I'm buying any more ODEs and not doing that. And so since I was able to order the ODE, it's like same day I hopped on to Laser Bear's website and I ordered that. And then while I was there, it's like, well, I might as well grab the Sega Saturn one as well.
Save on shipping, right?
I get, yeah. I mean, it's just, to me, it's not even about that. It's just like, it takes a certain amount of energy or whatever motivation for me to like order something like that. And so like while I'm there and I've already got stuff in my cart, let me grab whatever else I might want.
Yeah.
So, but my point in bringing that up actually, was, you know, while I've been waiting for the ODE to get here, I'm like, well, I might as well buy the SD card and I'll get all the games I want, you know, downloaded for the GameCube. Because I didn't even know what size SD card I needed, right? Because I'm like, well, I don't know how many games am I realistically going to want to have available. And I was kind of surprised, I have to say, by how few games I ended up downloading.
Really?
I just, you know, I'm not saying this like, you know, everybody loves, and myself especially, loves making fun of the Nintendo 64, right? But
same here. Yeah.
I mean, I don't ever make fun of the GameCube. I mean, I had a GameCube. It was pretty cool. But, you know, I don't think I'd ever really sort of sat back and, you know, thought about the library as a whole. But, you know, when you're doing something like I'm doing, like trying to put together an SD card to stick into an ODE, you know, I'm going through the entire list of games and pulling out, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this.
Yeah.
And, you know, I went through the entire list just myself first and grabbed everything that I knew I wanted, like just games that I'm aware of. And then I was like, okay, now I got these. Now let me start reading like people's lists of like, what are some like, you know, God, I hate the term hidden gems, but I don't know what else to say, but like games that are good that I don't know about.
Yeah.
Right. And
so what are some of the games that were good that you didn't know about?
I don't even. I got well, like I think there was that Baten Kaitos or whatever.
Yeah.
I grabbed those. I don't remember honestly. This was a few days ago.
Put Piano 3 on there?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good.
Yes. Like I go to like
Super Monkey Ball.
Well, I already knew about like that was the.
Well, I mean,
the Monkey Ball games were like
one.
my jam when I had a GameCube. So no, I already grabbed those like on the first go around. But I mean, I don't know. I was just surprised. Like, you know, there's sort of a handful. There's more than a handful, but not a lot of like really good like AAA marquee games on the GameCube. And then there's like another, you know, group of like, okay, these games don't fall into that category, but they're good and you should have them. And then there's just like a crap ton of shovelware on that system,
but nowhere near like the Wii did. But
I just think like that's what happens when you have a system that's aimed more towards a younger demographic. I think is there's just a lot of crap on there.
Yeah, I mean there's like exclusives that are pretty good, but it's very, very rare for me to buy multi-platform games like on the GameCube.
Yeah,
especially since, you know, the controller was always like annoying for games that weren't like specifically designed for it.
Yeah, that's true.
I think.
Yeah.
I think the only multi-platform game that I got for the GameCube was probably Soul Calibur 2 for obvious reasons, because everyone wanted to play as Link in that.
Yeah.
And I mean, other than that,
I mean, I got Resident Evil 4 for it, but I mean, that was an exclusive for quite some time. And like when I bought it, it was an exclusive. Although I will say this, like I still prefer playing it on the GameCube. You know, because I think it was made with that controller in mind. And I don't remember the names of the shoulder buttons. Are they Z on the GameCube controller? Is it like Z1?
I think they're L and R. But then there's the Z button. It's like that purple one, that purple button.
Well, there's the one that's the trigger.
Yeah, those are just L and R, but they're like analog.
Yeah, but so I'm saying like on with Resident Evil 4, like you pulled that part way, and then your character raised the gun and the laser thing came out.
Yeah,
and then if you pulled it until it clicked, that's when you shot. And like that was it just feels really awesome.
Yeah.
So
and you can't really replicate that. I guess you couldn't really replicate that until
that's what I'm saying.
The DualShock or the DualSense.
Yeah.
Have you used the DualSense before?
I don't know.
Like on the PS5 controller.
No, because I have a PS5 controller, but I only for playing PlayStation games on the Mister. So
okay,
because I don't have a PS5.
Well, like you're aware that the way the triggers work, like they can dynamically make it so that it gives more resistance.
No, I don't think I knew that. No.
So, if certain games, if you need to, if you want to shoot, it can make it so one trigger is like slightly harder to pull.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool.
And yeah, it can dynamically change that, like by gun or something like that.
Yeah. And
I think so. There's like the Blue Retro stuff, like the wireless controller, like Bluetooth controller stuff for it's like on a whole bunch of different systems. It's like really super low lag Bluetooth.
Yeah.
And there's one for the GameCube that if you hook up a DualSense with it and you specify that it's a DualSense, it can make it so the triggers will work exactly like a original GameCube controller, where
that's pretty cool.
They will it can like use the like the dynamic like not force feedback but resistance to make it like have that click.
That'd be cool, I guess. I mean, I could try, but I mean, I don't mind just playing with a regular GameCube controller either. So.
Oh, same here. Like a wave bird, I guess.
No, I just have the regular wired one.
Yeah.
But
that makes sense. Is it Spice Orange?
No.
Do you have a Spice Orange one?
No. I'm pretty sure the controller, and I don't have it in front of me, but because I just got the GameCube recently. Like I had a GameCube back, when it was a thing, and then got rid of it, and I hadn't had one for a long time, and now I have one again. I think I have a Platinum GameCube, and then I have an Indigo controller. I think.
Okay.
That's my recollection, without having it in front of me. But I'm getting rid of all of my GameCube games, which isn't that many.
All of them. Every last. Yeah, and now is the time to get rid of those because those are real pricey now.
Well, I mean, there's like, I don't want to keep talking about this because we already did, but, I've been going through my games and get rid of stuff. And, I don't think there's any other console I can think of where I'm getting rid of everything. I'm keeping at least a couple, games. But
you should just hang on to Super Monkey Ball just to hang on to it.
Yeah, but see, that's the only GameCube game where I have it disc only. So then I don't want to keep that.
You have Phantasy Star Online for it?
No.
Okay.
I don't have that many GameCube games.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I just got the GameCube like
Legacy.
a year ago or something, and I bought a few games for it, but those games are just so expensive.
Now they are. Yeah. That's like, I got a stack of GameCube games for like $3 each, like some really heavy hitters at Goodwill. That was like the last really big last hurrah for the golden age of Goodwill for me, I think.
What's going on with the Atari Jaguar?
I think that's been expensive for a while now.
But it's gotten like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because like I was going to get rid of mine because I have a Jaguar with the Jag CD. I have the Pro controller. I've got some games. And then I saw how much it goes for, and it kind of actually made me not want to get rid of it anymore. Because like that's definitely going to be a one-way thing. Like there's no way I would buy that again.
Yeah, there ain't no getting off that train.
Because then I was just thinking instead I might get rid of my games and just because I have the what is it called? A game drive? It's like an EverDrive, right? But for the you know, I have that.
By Retro HQ.
Yeah, exactly. And so I could just keep that and get rid of the games.
Yeah,
because you can even load CD games off that thing.
That's really cool. I mean, that's the Jaguar is like one of the few systems that I would like. It would be kind of neat to have. I have an extra Jaguar controller, like basically a brand new controller, just because for the Jaguar. What?
I said score.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because sarcasm. You never know when you might be able to like use it for something.
Well, I mean, if they make a Jaguar core for the Mister, then it'll be nice to have the controller for it.
Yeah,
so I would
think
definitely
they already are working on it.
I would definitely hang on to that if I were you.
Yeah, but that's like one of the few systems that I feel like I'm missing, but I'm okay not having it. It just would sit there unplayed anyway.
If I didn't have one, I would not be trying to get one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to get it.
Like, I got one only because I was like, perusing Craigslist several years ago, and there was one for sale in my town, and it was like misspelled. So I think it had been, and it was in the wrong category on Craigslist.
Okay.
And so it had been sitting there for like a while, and I went over there, and it was already priced really cheap because it was the Jaguar, and it was the Jag CD and the Pro Controller and a bunch of stuff.
Dang.
And it was pretty cheap, and I went over there, and then without me, I didn't see. I hate it, like when you hear people talk about like, oh, I just got this whatever game, and they say how much the seller wanted for it, and they tell you that they still bargained with the person. I think that's like super scumbag behavior. Like, I get that the seller is already ripping themselves off because they didn't do their homework, and that's their fault. But then if you go in there and say, oh, well, actually, I want to give you even less, then you're just being a scumbag, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, if I did that, I wouldn't tell anybody I did that.
Yeah. But so I didn't do that. I was just like, all I did was just say the price to the person. I was like, I forgot what it was. But I think I ended up getting that stuff for $100.
Yeah.
But I think they had wanted more than that. But I think I had like some money in my wallet, and I think I had like $100 in my pocket. And so I pulled out the 100, and I'm like, okay, you said that was a 140 or whatever, right? Yeah. I said, okay, here's 100. And then I was getting my wallet out, and she's like, oh, that's fine. Just 100's fine. And I'm like,
just
all right.
Wanted to be rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you still got it. Like, that's pretty cool.
Well, it's funny because I already had a Jaguar.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted the Jag CD, and I really wanted the Pro Controller. And so when I got that one, I sold my Jaguar. But again, that was before prices went completely bananas.
Right. You just wanted to have that toilet to sit on the back of it, right?
Yeah. Well, I had just never had a Jag CD, and I just wanted to check it out.
Yeah. But it does kind of look like a toilet,
right?
Oh,
for sure, yeah. Especially when you open the lid. But I just saw like on online on X last night that a guy I follow, he was selling his Jag. He had like a Jaguar with a bunch of stuff. It came with a game drive, and it came with like a prototype shell or something. But he wanted like $800 or $900 for it, right? And so then somebody was like, "Oh, you're charging too much," and blah blah blah, And then a friend of mine, who's also a friend of his, responded and go, "Oh, really? Here's a completed eBay auction for like way more money, And that doesn't even come with a prototype shell. I mean, that one came in, but I mean, it was like a Jaguar in its original box with a little bit of stuff, and I think it sold for like $1,400. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's gone crazy. Who is paying that much for a Jaguar of all things? Like, what are you going to do with that? You're just dying to play Cybermorph? I don't get it.
Yeah. Trevor McFur.
I mean, it's got riding on it. I'll give it that. And I like Cybermorph, but I mean, to me it was fun having a Jaguar when it was cheap. And then you can play these kind of weird oddity games like Cybermorph or its sequel on the CD, Battlemorph.
Yeah.
I mean, Trevor McFur sucks. I have nothing to say about that one. But I mean, I don't know who's paying even like $300 for a Jaguar with some stuff. To me, would be like, there's no way I'm paying that.
Do you think this stuff is eventually going to crash again? And that people are just like, well, what did I do?
I don't know, because I feel like people have been saying that for so many years that like at some point the market's going to crash. And so I feel like an idiot if I say that, yeah, it is. But at the same time, I don't see how this is sustainable.
It's not. Well, I think that it's not sustainable, and the way that it's going to work itself out is that, I think we talked about this last time, like kids are just not going to be interested at all.
Yeah, you said that, and I think then like some people in my Discord were disagreeing and saying their kids are really into like all of their old games.
I if that's true, but they're outliers.
Yeah.
Most kids are just like playing Fortnite, they're playing Roblox, they're playing Minecraft. Like that's like literally all they care about. And you know, like that you could give them most kids, you can give them like the best game ever, and they'll be like, I just want to play Roblox. Because why would you want to play one game when you could play a game that has every game in it? Because that's essentially what Roblox is. It's just like millions of like
I don't really understand
user created games.
I see.
And all those games, like I walked in, my son was playing like a Sonic game. It was like literally just like sprite rips and like new levels.
Oh wow!
From like Sonic 1, 2, and 3.
But you think that if you sat him down and said, "Here, you want to play actual Sonic?" He'd be like, "No, I just want to play Roblox."
I mean, he'll play it, but he's like he'll lose interest like real quick.
Yeah,
like he's just like, I just want to. I mean, he doesn't want to play anything that like really challenges him. He's like terrified of playing anything that's like outside of creative mode in Minecraft.
Yeah.
And I mean, I told you, like I told him that I would give him $100 if he could beat the first Mario, and he still hasn't done it. And he's like at 7-1, but he's like save stating his way all the way through it.
How old is he though?
Like he's 8.
And how old's your daughter?
11.
See, I feel like especially for your daughter, because you had said that you gave them both the same offer, right?
Yeah.
I just feel like especially for your daughter, like at 11, that should be like easy money.
Yeah, but it's a thing. The
right?
thing is,
it's not
they
like
don't want to start over if they run out of lives.
Right, I get that. But I'm saying you don't have any rules as far as like your daughter can go watch like a playthrough of the game, right? Like she can go watch somebody else do it so that she knows what to do.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
or go
totally
read
fine,
a guide
but she can't
or something.
Save state. She can't. Even if you're watching a guide.
Yeah.
Like I think that it's still like you're going to be starting over several times.
I don't disagree with you, but I'm saying that if you go watch somebody else play through the game and take some notes, you know, especially the last in World 8.4 when you have to go, you know, certain ways and whatnot.
Yeah.
You take some notes, you sit down easily in an afternoon, and especially because it's not like the game is foreign to them, right? Like, oh, I've never played this or I've never played a platform game before. Like, I think if your daughter ever just decided she wanted $100, it wouldn't be that much effort. Just be like, okay, I'm going to just buckle down and do this and then get $100.
Well, I would absolutely, if she went and like looked up, you know, like Let's Plays and stuff like that and got all the way through it, like, you know, took notes and did it, I would be like, you know, that's actually pretty cool that you like showed that initiative to like figure it out to that extent.
I just think it's crazy to me that like you gave your kids a reasonable way to get $100, and they're just like, whatever. Like I would lose my mind over $10 when I was their age. And like I know inflation and whatnot, but $10 back then is like $25 now. Not like $100 even now is a lot of money for a kid.
Yeah, it's just like
you're living
you can
high on
spend
the
it on
hog
whatever
for
you want.
a while.
You know, I mean, my son could take that and put it in, buy $100 worth of Roblox money.
Yeah,
Robux as they're called.
I mean, you can still buy a pretty good sized like Lego set for $100.
Listen, we do not need any more Legos in this house. I've say this repeatedly. Yeah. I think my kids, we have like so many Legos, and like they're kind of like not in the Legos right now.
Oh.
And we have all these Lego sets that are like half put together, just strewn around the house, and it annoys me endlessly. And what I want to do, and everybody thinks like discourages this but this is what we had. So we just like had so many Lego sets that we, like maybe we would build them, but like a lot of people nowadays will build Lego sets and then they'll set them up someplace and like leave them.
Right, which is not the point really of Legos.
Not the point. So we would build this stuff and then we would destroy it, and we just had a big bin that had all of the Legos in it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what
What's
you're
wrong
supposed
with
to
that?
do.
Because you still have the instructions. If you ever decide later on you want to build the set again, you just got to dig the pieces out.
I don't know which, like there's so many similar pieces and stuff like that. But that's not even the point. The thing is, like, you're supposed to, like, it's one thing to make the thing that they tell you to make.
Yeah.
But it's something else to just, like, make something completely original out of it.
Well, I just feel like when I was a kid, when we got Lego sets, that was kind of part of what you looked for in a set. Is like, okay, what kind of pieces am I going to get? Yeah. And what's that going to let me make? Like you wanted like all the little specialty pieces because it's like, this is a cool spaceship, but I want to build a cooler spaceship. And this set comes with a lot more parts that I can build a cooler spaceship with.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we have all these like half-built sets, and I want to just like get a plastic tub.
Just do it.
And we put everything in it.
Just do it.
I know, but I'd have to go through and like everyone's like, no, we can't do that.
Who's everyone? Like your family or other people?
Like everybody that lives in this house, but me.
Okay.
Like they all act like it's this, like the world is going to end.
Here's what you should do. Go tell them, like, listen, here's your choice. Either we do the Lego set bin thing, or I'm getting rid of like 3/4 of the water bottles in the cabinet. One or the other.
One or the other. It's like it's got to be. We've got to work out something. Like something's got to give.
Hey, I don't know if you watched it or not. I'm keeping the YouTube's hottest new show thing going on.
I haven't watched your new one yet.
On Weekend Rental.
But did you put the hot new? Is it on the thumbnail?
It's not on the thumbnail. It's in the video.
Okay, well, I feel like
now what I'm doing is like when because I say it right at the beginning. I want to keep doing that. Like I'm going to say it at the beginning of every episode. I'm going to make some reference to YouTube's hottest new show, and then as soon as the H of hot comes out, the hot new thing comes on the screen, and I want to try to mess around with different like transition effects for that.
Yeah.
So the one, it like goosh on the screen, and then all the smoke comes all over the screen. It's pretty cool because because
you have it go,
of
like,
the
fly forward, and then kind of go back, and it like cracks the screen.
Oh, I got to figure out how to do that kind of stuff.
I do think you should put it on every single thumbnail though, because I think it would make it really funny if every single thumbnail had the hot new on it. Even like when it says like this video is 3 years old and it says hot new on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll think of.
That's
I'll
what
have to
Hydro
figure
Thunder
out.
is. It's still hot and new.
If there's a good spot to stick it in the thumbnail, I'll do it.
Yeah. I was kind of jealous that you've taken that hot new and it's like a emoji in your Discord.
Yeah. So don't.
I was a little envious.
You can't steal that. I already did it.
Yeah.
But the stickers have been selling like hotcakes. I mean,
you got me thinking about these stickers now. So I don't know if you've seen like the stupid faces that I made with with those Veacher glasses.
Oh, I saw. Yes.
Have you seen the one where like my Popeye face?
Yeah, I saw.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you noticed like on you have an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
So on iOS, like the newer versions, like you can like cut out people from photos and stuff.
Well, you can cut out anything.
So but it's pretty amazing how instantaneous it works and like how well it works.
Although we should say for anybody that doesn't have an iPhone but you have a Mac or something, you can also do it on your Mac. You don't have to have an iPhone.
Oh, okay.
But it's nice on the phone because if you take a picture of something with your phone and then you want to just have the object without the background, you can do the whole thing on your phone, which is nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like instantaneous, basically.
It's amazing. I don't even know how they do it.
So what I did yesterday is I took those and I made emojis for our live stream.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what if I did that and I like made stickers of them?
You could try. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'll just say like I will have my wife does like a lot of stuff with like she's very good with Photoshop.
Yeah.
Because she does graphic design. So she's, I'm like, will you cut me out? Like, make it real nice, and then I can send it to Sticker Mule. And it's just like that. I bet you, I feel like I could sell those.
I mean, you could try. I don't know. I mean,
it would be really funny.
There's just like, there's certain things that I've done as far as like getting stickers or whatnot where I just like, I get it. And I'm like, I don't even know why I ordered that because it's stupid. And I just don't feel right about selling it. Like, it's like you're saying, I have like, it's like my social media profile avatar is just like that cartoon head of me, like I made stickers of that. Yeah. But it's just my head. Like it doesn't say Classic Gaming Coury. It's just my face with the hat. And I got
Do you have the pipe in your mouth though?
No, because I made those before I added, because I added the pipe. Mm-hmm. Plus, I feel like most people don't get the joke with the pipe, and they think it's some kind of weed reference or something. So, like, I don't.
Is it like something else? Like, I don't think it's a weed reference. I just thought it was like, it's for a very sophisticated people.
No, it's Bob Dobbs from the Church of the Subgenius. That's my point. Nobody gets. It's too obscure. Like, if you're not someone who's into like Devo and stuff like that, you're not going to get the reference because you don't know who Bob Dobbs is. But
well, I like the idea of it being a very sophisticated show that only.
Well, it is a sophisticated show. I have very good diction, as you know.
Yes.
According to.
Well, I think it'd be really funny. Like, you're wearing glasses in the drawing, right?
Yeah, because I wear glasses.
Yeah, it would be really funny if you had a version without it and you just put like a monocle in one of your eyes.
I mean, I'm sure I could just ask Steve Nazar, like, hey, can you make... That's what I should do. I should have Steve Nazar make me some new artwork. But my point is, so I got those stickers and I'm like, I can't sell these. Like, that's stupid. And so like what I do instead is like I just have them in like, I have a tub, like a plastic tub, and that's like the CGQ shop, is everything's in that tub, Mm-hmm. And so like those stickers are in the tub. And so, like, if somebody orders something from me, I just grab one of those and just throw it in the envelope with everything else.
Yeah.
Because that way someone feels like they got a bonus, and then I don't feel like I'm charging people for a sticker of my face.
Yeah. I get that. I get that. And I think that's cool. Like, when people order, like, we sell stickers. Like, I just recently, like, restocked the stickers, but I didn't put it out there that they're actually for sale. So if you'd like a My Life in Gaming sticker, they are available on our website, at mylifeingaming.com. But it's just like the logo, because the logo was supposed to be a sticker, like it was supposed to look like a sticker.
It's a very good logo you have.
Yeah. And like I got bigger ones, but also like just as an extra thing, I got like much smaller ones because I was just kind of curious.
Yeah.
And those, if anybody orders a sticker, I'll like throw in one of those.
Yeah.
Or if somebody orders like a Blu-ray, I will, and they don't want anything else, I'll throw in one of the little stickers.
Yeah. Do you have do you have PlayStation lid stickers?
No, but I mean, I could get really big ones and they would probably fit really nicely.
I made PlayStation lid stickers. That's all I'm saying.
That's cool because it's a circle. Like it works for that. Like I wish. Yeah. I'm like weird about putting like the logo of our show like on my systems. Like somebody a while back like made us like little N64 jewels that go in the front, and also the jewels that go in the lid of the GameCube. Yeah. They have our logo on it.
Yeah, I get that.
And I'm like, I prefer like the original look, and I feel bad about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I would feel weird like if I was like showing B-roll or something of a game console I had taken out that and put in my own, that would be weird.
Yeah, there's no reason to do.
But I still think,
although like I did it for like one thing, just because I wanted people to think, like.
But I think that was a pretty cool thing for somebody to give you too.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I did change out the jewel in the front of the N64 that I have hooked up, which it's like a Funtastic. It's like a green Funtastic system.
Wait, you have an N64 hooked up?
Yeah, it's got the N64 digital also.
Oh.
HDMI in it.
Yeah.
So somebody sent me a jewel that says it's the Ultra 64 logo.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And I put that on there.
Oh yeah.
Like I will keep the N64 on like a real like stock looking N64, but for something like this, like I'll definitely put that Ultra 64 on there. Like it's just kind of a cool like spin on like a system that doesn't look like the real thing, like exactly like the real thing.
Yeah.
So I have that on there. But other than that, like I don't do a lot of customizing of consoles, although I do really like. There's that one person that is like making those like injection molded like clear console shells and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like there's a really good smoke colored Mega Drive style Genesis one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I really want to get one, but they're pricey, which they should be and is expected. But I want to get one of the smoke one. I have a clear one for a PC Engine that I had.
See, if I had a PC
refurbished.
Engine that had like a crappy case, then I would do that. Or
well,
like
that's
I was
what I did.
drooling over like that graphics gear guy. He makes those new decals.
Yeah.
Overlay decals for PC Engine controllers, and like he shows pictures on his website of like, oh, this clear shell or whatever with that decal. I'm like, oh man, that looks
That's
cool.
what I did with it.
But I don't have a PC Engine controller that needs a new shell,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, and I like the
one.
stock look too. So I guess I could go on eBay and buy like they sell them as like junk because they look like crap. I could do that, but
well, I used it because I got a shell that I had a controller that was like a Core Graphics style controller.
Yeah.
Like the orange and gray.
That's a Core Graphics 2.
Yes. Yeah. Because Core Graphics 1 is blue. It's like but the one of the rapid fire switches was like snapped off. Like the nub was like snapped off.
Yeah.
So I had this clear PC Engine controller shell that did not have any holes for like any rapid fire switches. Because like the original ones did not have the rapid fire switches.
The very original PC Engine controllers,
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna put it in there and put one of those graphics gears overlays on it.
Yeah. But now you don't have turbo.
But that's okay because the overlay that I had didn't even have the cutouts for the turbo either.
Oh,
so it
all
just
right.
like worked.
Oh, well, that
worked
works
perfectly.
Yeah.
So it just like looks like a clear version of the very, very original controller.
Yeah. So hey, speaking of the PC Engine, I got back my. So I had this. I mean, I don't know how much of this I've told you before, but so I had this white PC Engine, like an original, white PC Engine that I bought from somebody like years ago. And they had said like, oh yeah, I was in the process of doing like an RGB mod to this PC Engine, and I just never finished it. But they already removed the RF unit, and it came with the little RGB board, and I think it even came with the new like a DIN connector to put where the RGB unit was, and I think it was like a Genesis 1 DIN or something. Mm-hmm. And so I got it, and I didn't do anything with it for a while, and then finally, I took it outside. I took it out to the garage to my workbench, and I had started working on it, but the system wouldn't turn on, and I didn't know why. But also, because I kept putting it together and taking it apart, for people who don't know, the cartridge slot, like the card slot on a PC Engine, is a separate little board that's screwed to the upper shell, and then the motherboard is screwed to the lower shell, and it has these two ribbon cables that go between those two boards, and they're very rigid. And so whenever you take it apart and put it back together, the thing that flexes is actually the solder joints. And so I took it apart and put it back together enough times that the solder joints broke off. And so I just threw that cable away. And I mean, this is really sort of kludgy, but I replaced it with I took an IDE cable, like a hard drive cable, old IDE hard drive cable, and I stripped the ends, and I used that to replace the cable.
And it worked?
No, because the system still wouldn't turn on because there was something else wrong in the system. I don't know what. And so I kind of just gave
issue?
What?
What's it like? A capacitor
I don't know. I kind of gave up on it, but I'm like, I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm not going to throw it out. I'm just like, I don't. And so it turned into like yet another thing I had just sitting around my house. Like the thing, I never even screwed it back together. It was all just sort of sitting there in pieces. And this guy that lives locally to me that did the X Station install, in my PlayStation, I asked him, I said, hey, I've got this PC Engine that's kind of in rough shape. Do you want to take a look at it? And he said, yeah. And so I sent it to him. And it's funny, maybe I wasn't clear about, just how bad it was, but, I sent it to him and he just sent me a message. He just said like, oh, I just opened up that PC Engine. Oof. Because it was pretty messed up. But so somebody, because, those ribbon cables breaking is a pretty common thing. And so somebody now sells a replacement where it's like a little board that you solder over the solder joints on each half. Like there's one that goes up on the cartridge slot, one that goes on the motherboard, and then there's like a ribbon cable that you just plug into both sides. And that ribbon cable also has built into it a little thing in the middle where if you hook it up to a switch, it's a region mod. Because like in a PC Engine and TurboGrafx 16, the region mod is you just have to switch some of the pins around. So if you install this thing and then install a switch, now you have a region mod. And so he installed that. Well, he had me order the thing, the replacement ribbon cable. So I ordered that and I gave him the PC Engine with the ribbon cable. And that's all I thought he was going to do. I said, look, it doesn't turn on. I don't know why. And he just said, well, usually it's the voltage regulator. So whatever, I'll look at it. And so he got that ribbon cable put in there. He replaced whatever he had to replace so that the system would turn on. But then he mentions, he's like, oh, I have this Turbo Nanza sitting around here. Do you want me to install? And I didn't know what a Turbo Nanza was. But basically it's like an internal video mod that it's an RGB mod, but it also adds S video and composite, because actually the original PC Engine, it just has RF out. And then it uses a Sega Saturn DIN on the side.
Did you watch the Macho Nacho video about it? Is that where you got the...
What?
Maybe not. I guess not.
No, because I'd never heard of the Turbo Nanza until he told me, and I was like, well, I don't know what a Turbo Nanza is. Because I gave him the parts. Like, if you just hook this all up, it'll work. Mm-hmm. But he just offered. He's like, well, do you want me to put a Turbo Nanza in there instead? And then I went and looked up what a Turbo Nanza was, and I was like, hey, why not do that instead? Just because it's a newer technology, maybe it works better. But so anyway, he did that, and it's pretty awesome.
And that's like, is that your main PC Engine at this point?
I don't know, man. Okay, no, and I'll tell you why. So the thing is, like, I like having that one because it's white, and so it's like that's the original PC Engine.
Is it on Capture Cart?
It's not on Capture Cart, but I have my core graphics down here on because that's my main PC
that's your
engine.
Workhorse.
It is, and that one's not modified at all. It just has a spark plug plugged into the back of it, which is like an external RGB mod from Insurrection Industries. Small the
spark plug is.
What's that?
I have one too. I love how small the spark plug is.
Yeah, it's great. But so the reason is that so he gives me back the PC Engine, right? And I plug it in, and I'm playing Jack Nicklaus Golf like a gentleman, and there's all this weird noise like coming out of the speakers, right? And like not like a hum or a buzz, but like the sound of like a computer in like a 70s sci-fi show. It's like I can hear these little beeps and bloops, like real quiet.
Almost like you need like a what do you put it in, like audio line? It's a not like the feedback, but just like where you can, sometimes if you hear your computer sounds, like through your speakers, what is the name of it that I'm thinking of? I
have no idea what you're talking about. You mean like one of those like ferrite things?
No, it's like we've talked about them. You were like surprised that I had one.
Oh, a ground loop isolator?
It's a ground loop isolator. Yes.
Okay. I don't know, because I went and I asked the guy. I'm like, hey, this is doing this weird noise or whatever. And he said, I'll do some research. Because I told him, I said, if you play Jack Nicklaus Golf, it's perfect because the game doesn't have any music. Yeah. And so and everybody complains about Jack Nicklaus because it has to redraw the screen after every shot because, you're so busy, you don't have time for that. And so you can hear it like making all these weird noises while it's redrawing the screen. But he has a white PC Engine, and he fired his up. He says it does the same thing, and I guess he looked into it, and maybe they're known for that. Like, you can hear the CPU bus, like the bits moving around in the CPU bus.
Like some EverDrives, you can hear that when it's accessing the SD card.
Yeah,
you can hear it like in the speakers if you like really crank it up. So this is obviously loud enough to.
Well, I'm not sure I'd want to use that system to capture footage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's perfectly fine for just playing. I'm not even saying it's loud.
For that game in particular is like where that's the only game you'd probably notice it in.
I think if I had like loaded up Soldier Blade or something, then yeah, I wouldn't have even heard it.
Yeah.
But I just
But
happen
it's like
to
once
be
you
playing,
hear it, you can't unhear it.
happy to be playing Jack Nicholas. So you have it right
Jack
here.
Nicklaus.
The Japanese version. I was surprised. I just bought this from Hit Japan.
Yeah.
And because this is the only original version of the game. This is the actual Jack Nicholas 18 greatest holes of major 18 greatest orifices. Probably you'd prefer, but because that
all
was
18
the original PC.
major orifices.
The original PC game was the 18 greatest holes. And then when they released it on the TurboGrafx, I talked about all that in that golf video. I don't want to go over it again, but the Japanese HuCard release of it is the only one where it's the original greatest 18 holes. And so I wanted to get this, but I assumed it would be in Japanese. And then I put it in the system, and the game is in English. So
that's weird.
Why didn't you just release? It's already in English. Why didn't they just release that here? I don't know.
I don't know. I have the CD version, and it drives me up the wall.
You have the American
for some
CD
reason,
version or the Japanese CD version?
It's the American CD version.
That's like a very rare game.
Really?
Yeah.
Hang on, let me grab it. Let me make sure. It's what I think it is.
All right, now you have to wait while he goes and looks for stuff. See, now he can't find it. See, now I have to edit this out later. He doesn't care. All right, he's back.
It's this one.
Yeah, but you're saying that's the CD game, not the HuCard. Yeah, that's a rare game.
Is it really?
Yeah. Like I'm currently right now considering spending stupid amounts of money on that game. Because that's literally the only golf game for the TurboGrafx 16.
It annoys me so much there's no back to it.
Oh, that would be very annoying. But like I said, rare game.
I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, though.
No, there's supposed to be a back. It came in an outer cardboard box, but so the back should be kind of plain. But yes, there should be a back there.
I didn't even realize it's like published by Accolade.
Yeah. So was the
Bubsy company.
So was the Turbo Chip version.
Really?
Yeah. But the CD version has more content than the Turbo Chip version, and the CD version has speech. You should play it, dude. That's a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the only golf game I don't have. So I got all my big sticker money now. I'm thinking about pulling the trigger.
Maybe
on that.
you should look at what you're selling. Maybe we can trade some stuff.
Maybe you don't even have a back on that thing.
I know, but I got it for free.
How?
I don't know. A friend gave it to me.
Oh wow!
Gave me this and
that's a good friend.
In Camp California.
Oh well, that's not a good friend, but
I mean, like the Camp California blows me away because it has like Beach Boys music in it. Like I wonder how expensive that was for them.
Yeah.
But he's like, I have this and this. You can have them.
Anyway, I'm strongly considering playing this game on weekend rental next week.
You should do that. Who's going to stop you?
Nobody, but people cannot watch, but it's your loss.
I think a lot of times people are probably watching for you, not what.
Maybe I don't know. I feel like I'm a bad judge of what people want to see. Because I'll make videos and be like, well, no one's going to watch this. And then like it gets a lot of views. Then I make another video where I'm like, oh, people are going to love this. Then nobody watches it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I should just do whatever I think is cool. And, people will either watch it or they won't. I mean, what do I care really, I guess,
Yeah. I mean, maybe you'll turn some people onto it.
4 birdies in a row. I told you this morning, and you ignored it. 4 birdies in a row. And the 4th birdie should have been an eagle, but I missed an easy putt. My fault.
I mean...
What?
I did not ignore it. It was like
you
I was
ignore a
thinking
lot.
about it. Like,
I try to talk to you. You ignore about half of what I say. I usually just blame it on him. Like, well, he has ADHD or something, so maybe he just didn't see it. I'm not being funny. That's what I assume. So I'm like, wow, really?
Yeah, well,
I get
I'm
nothing
just like,
for that.
I mean, that's very impressive. I feel.
And I mean, I had to shut the game off and go to work.
I would panic.
Maybe I could have gotten more birdies. Who knows?
Maybe. Like, what if I was there encouraging you and saying,
I'd probably just add pressure, you know?
Yeah, like, don't F this up.
Or exactly.
Don't mess it up.
Exactly.
And that's when you're going to do it.
I'm curious to see how this shirt is going to end up looking on camera, because the last shirt that I wore, it was pink. Like, on camera, it just looked like the same tone as my skin, which looked weird.
Just...
But this one's a little darker.
So I have, like, my computer goes into that nightlight or downtime mode, like the nightlight mode, where it makes all the colors on the screen warmer.
Oh, yes.
Like, it like reduces the blue. Like, it drives some people crazy. Like, Tri goes on and on about how, like, he's like does not understand how I do that, and I have it do it like with all my devices that I look at.
I do it on my phone and my iPad do that. I don't think I even knew that you could do it with your computer, but I don't think I would want that.
Yeah, I mean, unless I'm doing something that's like color sensitive.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that. Maybe that's the reason. Introducing that into my life is why I kind of run out of steam in the evenings.
I mean, maybe, right? That's supposed to help you sleep
that blue
better.
light keep me awake. Yeah, and I think it does. You know, my kids are at their grandparents until Wednesday. They went up on Saturday, and they've been gone.
Yeah,
like all weekend, and it's just like, it's so nice, like just sleeping.
Just imagine like what you're experiencing right now is my life.
I know. Imagine this.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, my wife and I are both like, you know, we're working, but then, you know, we get together and have lunch, and we could do this.
Yeah.
We could do this anyways. Yeah. But there's just something about, like, you know, we swear loudly in the house and just whatever we feel like doing.
But I mean, you both work from home, right?
I know. We could totally do all this stuff. As soon as
school starts back up, your kids are going to be gone for like 8 hours a day. So like,
yeah. It is funny. I think about, I mean, this is like a common thing for every parent, I think.
Oh, I'm sure.
Saying, you know, like, growing up, you can't wait for like summer, like you never wanted the summer to end.
Yeah.
And then, but as an adult with kids, you can't wait for it to end. So they go back to school.
Yeah.
But it's been pretty nice just hanging out. We've been watching the second season of that Sex and the City sequel show.
Oh.
Or like the whatever, like, and Just Like That, it's called.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we talked about that on here before, but like, I've seen them all. Like, I really enjoy it. But this new series has like not been very good.
Oh.
Like, the first season was just like, it was a complete mess.
Yeah.
And I was surprised to see that they made a second season, which is like not that bad. But, you know, we watched, you know, it for like 6 hours.
Wow.
On Friday night.
Yeah.
Or no, on Saturday night, sorry. Because we're still here on Friday. But it's been amazing.
That's when you got ripped?
That's when we got ripped.
What were you getting ripped on?
Oh, like
High Noons or what?
No, like
gummy bears?
Like gummy bears and like vapor.
Oh, all right.
Vaporwave.
Okay. Yeah.
Music.
Hey, you know, speaking of that, I was thinking about you yesterday.
Oh yeah.
I was at the store. I was at Whole Foods. Boy, I went. It was the day before yesterday. I went into a Whole Foods. It was the crappiest Whole Foods I've ever been in. Like, I wanted to take a shower, right? It was like, you know, because normally Whole Foods, that's like, you know, bougie, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But this one I went into was like, holy moly. It was awful. Like, all the produce had like flies on it and like it.
Ugh.
But you could tell, I mean, the clientele they had like in the produce section, they'd have like a bowl of strawberries that was like the sample strawberries, you know?
Yeah.
And you could see, look, I'm not making this up, like looking in the bowl, people were taking strawberries out, biting off the strawberry, you just have like, throwing the stump or whatever you want to call it right back in that bowl. Like that is nasty.
Yeah.
But anyway, yesterday I was at a much nicer...
And people are grabbing handfuls and just jamming it in their face and spitting it all back in there.
Anyway, that was not a good Whole Foods. But then yesterday I was in a much nicer Whole Foods. But I was looking at the beer. And, stores have whatever space in the coolers that they have for beer. Yeah. Right? This is how many feet of shelving we have for beer, right?
And a lot of times it's like locally sourced at this point.
Well, yeah, especially a place like Whole Foods. It's all like, oh, this is local, which is great. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
But it's funny because like the actual amount of beer in these cases keeps shrinking. And this is not a Whole Foods thing. This is at any store. It keeps shrinking because now there's more cider, and then now there's more like hard seltzers, and now like cocktails in a can are becoming more of a thing. And all of that is encroaching on the beer.
It's coming for it. It's like,
well, it's just kind of sad. Like, I like having a wide selection of beer to choose from, but then on top of that, I don't know if this is like a California thing or what, but like, 2/3 of the beer is like IPAs anyway, which, I'm not a huge fan.
There's so many beers now that, like, it's like, oh, this sounds good. But in a lot of cases, you're just like, you're gambling with your evening. Or gambling with, like the next time you go to the grocery store.
Well, one thing I like, one of the stores I go to, you can just buy single beers.
Oh, that's cool.
Like you can just pull a beer out of a 6-pack.
You can like make your own 6-pack.
Yes. And so then if I'm gonna kind of go off the reservation and like get experimental, like there's no way I'm buying it, especially with what beer costs now. Like I'm not buying a 6-pack of like an unknown quantity, unless it's from like a brewery that I have a lot of confidence in,
Yeah. But even then, you aren't really guaranteed to.
Oh no, for sure
it.
not. But I think you're making a more informed choice at that point. Like, oh, it's Deschutes, they're good. I'll take a 6-pack of that, and hopefully it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised though. I was going to say, I kind of thought just because we're recording in the evening, I kind of expected you'd be sucking on a high noon instead of your gigantic Monday. Truck stop.
I know. Well, I got some high noon tequila.
You can't have like
upstairs.
A drink on a Monday night.
I can.
All right. I'm not saying
I can.
I'm not saying I wanted you to. I was just surprised you didn't. And when you say your explanation is like, oh, it's Monday, like so. I'm not saying we're gonna get drunk on the show. I just figured you'd have like a beer or a high noon.
There's a really good. I don't know if I've sent you anything from him, but there's this guy on Twitter does these really good reels.
Yeah.
His user handle is like is Cut the Activist, I think.
Okay.
But he's like does these things. He's always drinking like Happy Dad seltzers.
Okay.
And it's like he always like has different things of like why you should drink.
Yeah.
And it's like very elaborate. Like I can't drink tonight. It's Monday. And he's like, so just because it's the beginning of the week doesn't mean you should deprive yourself of getting drunk.
Yeah.
Like he just like has like a really good he's very funny in that way.
Yeah.
He's I think I sent you some screenshots of like he wears these shirts sometimes.
Oh, I think.
And my favorite one is just the one that's just like a sweatshirt and it says very small in cursive letters like on where the breast pocket would be. It just says I feel like shit.
Yeah.
Which I think would be really funny to wear.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't really know unless you see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're like actually looking for it,
Plus, I usually kind of feel like shit, so I like wearing something like that would just be accurate.
But it'd be really funny if like your shirt that you had on just like had it in like kind of small like words.
Yeah.
Like.
I like this shirt, but the breast pocket is over too far. It needs to be.
You put stuff in it. Put stuff in.
Yeah, I'm old, like, man. I'm an old man. Like number one thing that goes in there, right there, glasses.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I could
maybe I should start wearing that now that I got
and-
to wear reading glasses.
Right. That's what this is. This pocket is just it's a little glasses cozy.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a few of those. I think because now that I think about it.
Well, or get the lanyard we were talking about last time.
I'm not gonna get the lanyard.
Yeah.
What I've been finding myself doing a lot is just putting them up like on top of my head.
Yeah.
And then I just like slide them down if I need to. And
what if you got some of those there's the ones you can get where the glasses will flip up. Right? Like you're wearing them like normal glasses, but then the lens is like thung, like go up like that, you know? And then that way you wear them, but you're still looking. And then if you're reading, you just like flip it down. Like what was that? Dwayne Wayne? Dwayne Wayne from A Different World? That was the sunglasses, but same principle.
Yeah. But I mean, one of the main reasons I got this even done is so I didn't have to like
right, but now you have to wear reading glasses. So like
most of the time.
How'd that work out?
I can't think of anything more annoying than actually wearing glasses all the time with the lenses flipped up most of the time.
Yeah.
So it's been like a week and a half since I had my LASIK done.
Yeah, I was going to ask how's the eyeballs doing?
I mean, it's going pretty good. I'm not sure if I completely love it though. In a lot of
you haven't used any drops the whole time we've been recording.
That's true. I mean, the last couple of days, I haven't needed to use them. I use them like in the first thing in the morning, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like a real need to use them.
You know, if your eyes get dry and you don't have any drops available, you can just think of that SPCA commercial with the Sarah McLachlan music.
in the arms of the angel.
Yeah, like a dog, flea-ridden dog in an alley, and then Sarah McLachlan singing. Like that'll get the tears going a little bit, unless you're a psychopath.
Yes.
Sorry though, you were saying.
No, it's been pretty good. Sometimes like I still kind of see some double like at a distance.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that like that's just something that will get fixed over time. But I have to admit that in some senses, I feel like I've just exchanged one set of problems for another set of problems.
How so? I mean, because you're saying you don't need the reading glasses very often. So like what are your new problems? Because you don't read. We've talked about this. It was like episode 3. I don't read.
But I need it to like, I generally need them to like even like read my phone.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Unless I can hold it out like this and do it. But
I mean, that makes sense because if I'm reading on my phone, I'm taking my glasses off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like anything for me that's like arm's length, I don't need my glasses.
Yeah. I mean, so and even like sometimes like looking at my watch, like I need to kind of go like this.
Yeah.
And
hey, what if you got bifocals where the regular lenses were just like no prescription, and then it still had the reading glass part at the bottom?
So I got a whole bunch of reading glasses from my in-laws because they just like had cataracts removed, and they got this stuff, and they got to wear like reading glasses now.
Remember, kids, cataract is not a luxury vehicle. Sorry, go ahead.
And they need them though, but they started getting like bifocals.
Yeah.
And I tried them. I'm like, man, like the whole reason I got this done is so I didn't have to wear glasses most of the time.
Yeah.
And the thing that this sounds worse than like wearing than having glasses I got to wear all the time, or glasses that, like I see.
Yeah.
I can't see everything.
I was joking about the bifocal.
But I mean, like.
But now you get to look all youthful on camera.
I know.
I mean, isn't that the point?
But it's not. It's like
you look at least 18 months younger than you did before you got
18 months.
At least minimum.
But I mean, you look at my hair. Like this is definitely. If I let this grow, it's definitely gray.
Yeah, but you have like almost no gray in your beard though. See, that's when it went off the rails for me when this all turned gray.
Yeah. You ever look back at your early videos?
Oh,
like
shocking.
Sometimes
because I was like 30 pounds lighter and I had no gray hair.
Yeah. I mean, like I think about that too, but like how once you're doing this kind of thing for so long, it's interesting because you can kind of like look.
Yeah.
You can see yourself age. And like for me, it's like I started out and then I like gained a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
And then I lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
And now I'm slowly like gaining a bunch of weight, which I'm trying to
See, I had the opposite. I was the thinnest I've ever been as an adult when I started my show, and it's just been sort of slowly like. I mean, I leveled off a long time ago, but you could definitely see. In fact, I'm thinner now. I got pretty big at some point. I remember. In fact, it was. I think there was a Christmas special that I did where I was looking at myself. You know, I was editing it, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, you fat slob. And so I think I dialed it back a little bit, but. I mean, I don't. That bothers me because it's like, well, that's just like a personal failing, you know. The gray hair thing. That's just. I'm 46. What do you want from my life? You know.
Right.
I'm not going to start. I'm not going to start brushing just for men into my beard.
Yeah. Like I mean, especially now because I think that having gray hair, it's like more celebrated now.
It's distinguished.
I mean, my wife has her hair is like gray, but she's like had gray hair since she was like in her 20s.
Yeah.
Like she's like always had it. And it started out where she's like, all right, you know, I'm just going to kind of embrace this. And she like, for a while there, she had like a big, like a gray streak in it.
See, I think
which
that's
is kind of cool. Yeah, it's totally cool. And then she just like let it all just like go gray. Just like, you know, like just having gray hair is like very celebrated now. You know, it's just kind of like, hey.
Yeah.
But then she like recently like dyed part of it.
Okay.
So that it's kind of like, all right, you know, it's like it's a good mixture.
Yeah.
But it's like a non-permanent dye.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't even know where I was going with it. But I don't know. Like,
I was saying that Lasik made you look 18 months younger. That's how we got started on that.
At least.
At least. Sorry, at least.
I mean, I think that losing 25 pounds would go a lot further.
But as we discussed before we started recording, that's going to be what you do next, I think.
Yes.
That's my prediction. Honest prediction of mine is that like you're going to get into better shape. And like I said, I think that those graphic tees, their days are numbered because you're going to get you're going to get cut and you're going to be like, no, I wear form-fitting, button-down shirts, slim fit.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Like my favorite thing about like being at a weight that I'm happy at is that I can wear like whatever graphic tees I want.
Yeah, we'll see.
And right now I'm kind of at a size where it's like the stuff I really want to wear like it doesn't fit me very well.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of going for like the stuff that I would normally have just reserved for like not leaving the house in.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, you know, like that's a little bit more like I feel a little bit better in that. But if I lose 25 pounds, then you know, like I would be completely happy.
Oh, I would love to lose 25 pounds. I just don't want to do what has to be done to do it.
I'm going to do
it. Like, how am I supposed to lose 25 pounds when I got people sending me Cincinnati chili that I have to eat over spaghetti?
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about like the package.
Yes. Well, that sounds very dirty when you say it like that. But so no, I haven't eaten any of the chili yet because it's been too hot. But this week the weather's cooling down. Like today, it's 100.
Yeah.
Tomorrow it's going to be like 82.
Okay.
Like I don't know what's going on, but I'm saying if it's in the 80s, then like I got no problem cooking up some pasta. But I wanted to run this by you so I don't have any pasta in the house. Mm-hmm. So like I'd have to go buy a box because it's supposed to be spaghetti, right? You serve it over spaghetti, right? So I either just buy a box of spaghetti or I could just make some spaghetti. But is that being like too bougie for like Cincinnati chili? Is that like,
I don't think it matters.
Is that like missing the point?
I don't know. I mean,
like fresh pasta is just
I don't
better,
think that
but
these places are using like Barilla, you know, pasta at their places. They're probably making their own to some extent. So
right,
probably
I have my
more
doubts
accurate.
on that, but maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know. Like, it doesn't really matter, but you should save at least one of those.
Yeah.
I sent you three or four, right?
3.
Okay, so you should save at least one of them for like once football season starts and you eat one of them watching a Bengals game.
Oh, I'm down for that. And I mean, football season's about to start, so.
Yeah.
But how would I eat it? Like in ideal Coury world, if I'm going to sit down and watch a Bengals game. You should get some
oyster crackers for it.
Oh my God.
But you also,
so you're saying I can
just
eat that chili out of a bowl, like just chili?
No, you got to put it on spaghetti, but you also need to put like so much cheese on it.
But wait. You're saying I should still have oyster crackers even though there's pasta?
You can put oyster crackers in it. Yeah,
Okay.
they get, like if you go to Skyline, they give you oyster crackers.
I love
also.
oyster crackers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can do that, but also you got to, if you've like looked this stuff up, you got to like put like a ridiculous mound of like grated cheese on the top of it.
Cheddar, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a ridiculous amount.
That's no problem.
And make sure you all put it all on there when it's hot, and then the cheese like melts into the
I get
chili.
it. Yeah. That's not a problem.
And it's good stuff. And it's not even something that I didn't grow up with it because I didn't grow up here.
Yeah.
And it took a little, like a couple of attempts for me to like come around on it, truly.
Yeah. All right. Well,
and
I
think it's pretty good. And although, just going to the restaurant and eating in the restaurant is a totally different experience. It's so much better than just like going through the drive-through.
Well, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I had an opportunity actually to come to Kentucky this year.
Oh, yeah?
But I'm not doing it. Because literally the only reason I was going to do it is I was like, oh, if I'm already there, I'm going to come see you,
Mm-hmm.
But there's a conference in Kentucky. Like for my job, there's like a conference, and like, so, and my boss was trying to say, oh, you should go and present. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't. Because I don't want to go to the conference in the first place. I especially don't want to present.
Yeah.
Research. You have to do like a PowerPoint presentation and talk about.
That's that.
And I don't want to do that. So.
Yeah.
I would rather just pay for a plane ticket to just come visit you and not have to do the stuff I just said.
Yeah.
That's like horrific.
Yeah. I mean, you can. I bet you should see how much plane tickets are.
Yeah.
We're planning a trip to Yellowstone.
Yeah, we talked about
summer.
that. You're going to go by car.
But we were gonna go by car.
Oh, you're rethinking.
We were gonna go by car.
Yeah.
But now I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna fly to Denver.
Okay.
And then we're gonna rent like a camper and like go to a whole bunch of places through a week, and then drive back to Denver and fly out.
That'd be cool. Hey, you're gonna drive through Wyoming. You can buy all the fireworks you want. There's no fireworks laws there.
Oh, thank God.
So. No, I'm just saying if you're gonna go camping anyway, like you might as well go buy like some M80s or something, and have at it.
Yeah, it's all right.
No, yeah, I'm not really into fireworks either. Hey, speaking of food, real fast.
Okay.
What day is today? Oh yeah, so Friday, same day I went into the crap hole Whole Foods. Friday I had oysters. Like we went hiking, and where we go hiking it's on the coast, and there's a bay right there where we go hiking, and that bay is famous for its oysters. And so after we went hiking, we went to this place where you can sit down. You're sitting outside. You're next to the water. You're drinking beer. And I got some oysters, and I got grilled oysters because I know I don't want raw oysters.
Yeah.
But so I got some grilled oysters, and I can tell you definitively that I am just not an oyster person.
Okay.
Not good. Like my wife, she's smarter than me, and she knew better. She got like steamed mussels, and that was like. Because you get steamed mussels, same thing. You can get like clams or mussels, and either you get it with like pasta or you just get it with like French fries. Like there's this other place we've gone to where they just get like a big bowl and just put a ton of French fries in there, and then just throw a bunch of steamed mussels on top, and it's great.
That sounds messy.
Not really. I mean, because you get the mussel and like they're open.
Smelly.
You get if you don't like seafood, you're not going to like it. But
I said it before.
Yeah, no, you're a very picky eater, but you don't like food, as we've talked about before. You're not a food person.
I'm never going to be able to live it down. I really don't like a lot of seafood. I just don't like the texture of it.
Oh, well.
And like how it feels when you bite into it.
Like eating that oyster, I have a hard time understanding why people eat oysters. And like I said, I was eating cooked ones, but they had nothing. Like if you eat like a steamed mussel, it's like chewy, like meat should be, right? So like I'm eating it, and I'm not like, oh, this texture is very.
Isn't that like gummy, kind of like
maybe a little,
rubbery?
Especially if it's overcooked, maybe a little bit. But I'm saying like compared to eating an oyster, I don't know, man. I ate them because I only got 4. It's because they're kind of bigger. But
yeah,
like I would love to go back to that place again because that was a cool place to hang out after you go hiking. Down to a couple of Scrimshaw's, very good beer, Scrimshaw. And I enjoyed my French fries quite a bit, but I will never, I don't think, order oysters again. That was definitely not for me.
Well.
Oh, also speaking of food, I
right.
feel like this is another episode where I'm doing all the talking, so I apologize.
No, I've been talking a lot.
Maybe,
I
if
think.
you say so. And although I'm surprised you should have brought this up.
Oh, geez.
The Food Network.
What did I F up now?
The Food Network.
What about it?
I was on the
going
food.
away?
I'm potentially going to be on the Food Network.
Oh, you didn't tell me what it was for. You just said that it was.
Well, I don't really
know. It was
a
show for a Guy Fieri.
Yeah, the mayor of Flavortown. So this is kind of a weird situation. So like, I'm subscribed to like the UC Davis subreddit, so there's whenever there's scuttlebutt going on, I see it there.
Yeah.
And somebody posted that like Guy Fieri's in town at some, restaurant that's not the kind of thing that you would ever travel to Davis to go to. Like it's like a bar with a grill in it, and you can get like hamburgers and stuff, and they're good. But
It's not like a drive-in diners and dives or whatever, is it?
Well, that's my thing. I'm like,
that?
there's no way that place is good enough or interesting enough to get on that show.
Yeah.
Right. It's just, it's very boilerplate. And so when they said he was there, I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. And then the next day I hear that he's over at the Hot Dogger, which is like a hot dog place. I'm like, what's going on? And then I saw another post. Oh, now he's in Central Park doing something else. We have a Central Park. It's not like the one in New York.
It's not
very
the
small.
Central Park.
No, it's much, much smaller. So it's like, okay, I don't actually care. I'm not like, ooh, I can run out and see if I can meet Guy Fieri. I could not care any less, right? So I just see that, but I noticed it, and I'm like, okay, there's something going on. Okay, whatever, right? So the day after that, I get a text message from the couple that runs the hand pie truck in town, which I think I've talked about on the show before. I don't remember. It's like they have a food truck. It's a 1969 Ford Vanette, though. It's not like a regular food truck. But anyway, they make hand pies, which is kind of like a Cornish pasty. They're really good. And so anyway, the wife texts me, and that's who I sold my Volkswagen to, the Beetle. Sold it to the hand pie people because it's also 1969. And she texts me and she says, "Hey, would you mind coming down to the hand pie truck tomorrow, because we're going to be on this Food Network show, and we need people to talk about the hand pies on camera." And like I saw that and I was like, oh, like I so don't want to do that,
Yeah, but you can go down there and eat for free, right?
Yeah, but I don't care.
Did you get a free one?
I did, but
I know,
so
but
what?
I mean,
I don't care. It's not like, if it was like, Ruth Chris or whatever steakhouse or Morton Steakhouse giving me a free meal, okay, but a $8 hand pie, I have a job, But the thing is, they're my friends, right? Like I always go down there. I spend all kinds of time hanging out with them. I hang out in the truck with them. Like they're my friends, And so if your friend asks you for something like that, you can't say no,
Oh yeah.
So of course, so I'm like, okay, I'll go. So I show up. I went there. There were some other regulars. It's not like I was the only person they asked. That would be weird. Like they asked some of the other hand pie truck regulars to come down there, and so we're all hanging out, waiting because it was supposed to be at 3:00, but then it didn't start until like 4:30 because that's just how it goes in that industry, which was fine, and yes, I got a free hand pie, but. The only reason I'm bringing this up, I think, this is my first kind of look behind the scenes at like reality TV.
Yeah.
And so what I thought was funny, so the way this happened, there was enough people down there that, once they finally, because they were down in the kitchen, because they don't make the hand pies on the truck. They park the hand pies, or they park the truck rather, next to a place where
they make some.
The husband rents the commercial kitchen in like you know what the Odd Fellows are? Odd Fellows? It's like a fraternal organization. It's like the Elks or the Benevolent Order of the Antelope and stuff like that, the Lions Club. So we have in Davis, we have an Odd Fellows Hall.
Okay.
And they have a commercial kitchen. And this guy, he's an odd fellow. He is also an odd fellow, but on top of that, he's an odd fellow. And so he makes all the pies in the kitchen down there. And so that's where the truck is located, is out in front of the Odd Fellows Hall. So anyway, he's down there making hand pies, and they've got the cameras down there, doing that. And so, like, that's what we're all waiting for, is for them to finish up with that, right? And so then, like, they all come upstairs outside, and they're like, okay, everybody has to line up at the truck, and we're shooting footage of them giving the pies to people, ordering pies, and them giving them the pies. But you can't eat your pie yet. Because, we have to, after everybody gets their pie, then you're all going to eat your pies, and then we're going to come around with the camera, and like film people and, whatever. And so we're like, whatever. But while I was waiting, this other chick showed up that I've talked to plenty of times before at the hand pie truck. And she was kind of the only person there that I knew fairly well. And so I just started just hanging out with her and talking to her.
Yeah.
And it's like we were hanging out in line together and talking. And then we got our hand pies. And then we went and stood wherever. And, we were just talking, the two of us. And then I had texted my wife, I was like, hey, you should you should come down here. Because this is all like right off campus. So like she can walk.
Right.
She can walk from the building she works in over here. And so finally she shows up. And so the three of us are standing around talking. But then like next to us, there's this bigger group of 6 people. And like they're all eating their pies because the guy's got the camera. And he's like, they've got the boom microphone. Because it's like, oh yeah, you guys just talk about the pies. And like we're just going to fly on the wall, with the boom mic and the camera,
Yeah, sure.
And
make the it's good.
Yeah, or whatever. I don't know. I didn't hear what they were saying, And so then we were just kind of in the background. And we were even talking about that. Like, yes, I'm much happier just being a background extra, Like, I don't, I do not want to talk.
Somebody's going to see in there and be like,
I don't,
CGQ.
Well, I mean, I don't know. So, let me finish what I was saying. So anyway, I do not want to be on camera for some reason. I know that sounds weird. I just think that reality TV, and I think that stuff is all very stupid. I don't watch it. And so I am not excited about being a part of it. Right.
Yeah.
And, so they finish doing that, and then they go set up the camera just on the sidewalk, and they bring out some lights, like the kind of lights you have, the fancy ones with the fans in them, And then they got the guy with the boom mic and everything. And they get some person to come over there and stand in front of the camera. And there's the cameraman and then some director lady or producer next to the cameraman. And the lady is interviewing the person, right?
And feeding them lines, basically.
For 10 minutes, right? And then that person leaves and they go and they grab somebody else and they do the same thing. And then by this time, this has been going on long enough that most of the people leave. Right? Because things are kind of winding down, and the producer's kind of oh, okay, I don't know, should we get anybody else? And so then me and my wife and this other chick are all still standing there talking, and I can kind of see out of the corner of my eye that producer chick coming towards us, right? But again, I don't want to do this, right? So I see her coming. I'm not even going to turn my head and look at her. I'm trying to ignore her.
If you don't look at her, she might just walk past you.
I don't know, but the thing is, I could see that she was looking right at me. Because, it's not like she was way over here. She was 30 degrees, to the starboard side or whatever. And I could see her coming at me and looking at me. And I was like, oh my God. And so I just I'm still involved in my conversation as a way of avoiding her, right? And then she comes over and she's like, oh, anybody else want to? And then the wife of the person is like, yeah, get him. He likes our hand pies, get him. And I'm like, oh no. And so then she's like, all right, come over. And I'm like, I'm not going to be a jerk. So I'm like, okay. And so I come over there and like, okay, stand right here. And then they adjust the lights and okay, move a little bit this way and whatever, And then she asked me a question and then I answer it. And then from then on out, she's just feeding me lines.
Yeah.
Or, I like the way you answered that. Say it again.
But say this.
But say it like this. And then, okay, do that. And then, okay, but say that, but then say it like that. And then okay, now I want you to say this line. And now I want you to say that line. It's all completely fake. If I end up being on TV,
reality TV is not
that it's fake.
Real. Yeah.
And it kind of bothered me because it's you're getting me to just say promotional marketing lines on camera that may or may not go out on national television. Usually I get paid for that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
More than a free hand.
You sign something, or just by being there, they probably had a sign saying you may be picked to be interviewed.
Oh yeah, I had to sign. I had to sign a waiver and have my picture taken with the waiver.
Yeah.
So my only hope for any of this, like my number one hope is that they don't use any of what I said, because I don't want to. I don't want to do this still. But hopefully, if it does get on there, at least one person sees the show and says, "Hey, that's CGQ."
There he is.
Like, you know,
now you gonna watch it? Then I gotta
tweets at me or X's at me or whatever we're doing now.
I mean, it sounds fun. I did a little bit of reality TV stuff, but like it was all like post-production stuff. So, you know, like that these questions are asked, and I just like have to sort things out by like the answers or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but like I don't know if reality TV has ever been real.
Oh, I doubt it. I mean, but I mean, it's just obvious that they already have.
Just like it's so cheap to make.
But it's like they obviously already have their story they want to tell.
Yeah.
And they just need you to, you know, you're like an unpaid actor, basically.
Yeah.
Just, we need you to say whatever.
Everyone's wants to be on TV.
Like, shouldn't I, you know, like, how is it that I don't get, you know, what I forgot what the TV version of a Screen Actors Guild card is for that. You fed me lines and I said them on camera. And
we didn't pay, but they think it's awesome.
Yeah.
That they were able to do that.
Yeah.
You're not going to make them feel bad about it.
I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad. I'm just saying. Like,
well, maybe they should feel bad.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, to be honest, most of those production dudes were pretty cool. Like, I'm not like nobody was a jerk in any way whatsoever. To be clear, although Guy Fieri was not there, which is fine. I really have no interest in meeting Guy Fieri. Like, I don't. Yeah. I'm not saying I don't like him, or I'm just saying I have nothing to say to him.
Yeah.
Hey, Guy.
Hey, what's up there, Guy? Hey, Guy.
You ever seen Rushmore?
A long time ago.
I like your nurse's uniform, Guy. That's the best part of the whole movie.
Hey, Guy.
I like your nurse's uniform, Guy. They're OR scrubs. Oh, are they? That's the best part of the entire movie. And it's a good movie. What?
It is.
Yeah.
But it's been a long time. I feel like I need to revisit it. Do we want to do some slap or yeet?
Yeah, I didn't want to bring it up, but yeah, it's your turn. But
I got two things, and one that's
is this going to be as hard hitting as spring, summer, or fall from last time?
It's up there.
Like that's like literally, I came up with three things while I was taking a dump right before we started recording. Hey, speaking of that, I meant to ask you this. Here's my question for you. What do you think would happen if you took a dump in your cat's litter box?
Are you thinking about that? Like, I saw some things saying, like, I took a... What I think would happen is, like, I don't know. I'm constantly amazed every time I clean out the litter box every week.
Yeah. Wait.
Or every few days or whatever.
You don't... You have to clean that thing, like, twice a day. What are you talking about?
Mine doesn't get cleaned twice a day.
What? I clean mine twice a day. You're just leaving like pee and poo in the...
Dude, it's like in the like it's underneath a utility sink.
It doesn't matter. It's like the cat has to get in there and dig around, and then the cat's like brushing up against the old poops. Like, I'm saying for your own... I don't care.
Like, I can't believe like how big my cat poops.
Oh yeah, sometimes they're shocking.
It is.
But I'm saying if you went and like squatted over the litter box and just took a dump in there and then buried it, I'm just wondering,
there's like a zero chance that I would be able to do that in the first place.
Why? Fine, like if you're going to be a prude, then like take a dump in the toilet and then like pick it up out of there and throw it in the litter box. I'm saying, like, do you think, because then your cat goes back there to do its business. Like, do you think that it sees that?
I think it'd be really funny if it annoyed my cat.
You took a dump in there. Do you think the cat sees that as like a bonding thing? Like, oh, like now we're
I don't know.
Sharing litter boxes.
I don't. Maybe.
Or do you think it'd be like a total turn off? Like, oh, I'm not using this litter box anymore.
I mean, my cat would like. I don't know. Like, my cat is so finicky. Like, she's just like. Because she is a rescue, so she's like so skittish about everything.
Yeah.
I can't like pick her up if I like, it doesn't matter how much I like pet her, and I just like have like for years like love on her and just like whatever.
Yeah.
It's like if I make like a unexpected move anywhere near her, she's like, shit. I need to get out of the room right now.
No, my cat, she's like that. She's a little bit jumpy. She can't help it.
Well, this is just like, it's like almost annoying. It's annoying to the point where I feel like I try to annoy her now because of it.
Oh, good Lord.
And I feel like if I was to take a dump in her cat box, it would really annoy her.
Well, I think you know what you need to do then. Like, report back to us next week on what happened.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, what do you got? First of all, play some. Oh, by the way, last week, that theme music did not come through. I had to add it manually.
Okay. Well, I don't know if it's going to fix it or not, but let's see.
Good Lord. I don't know how somebody can go from looking at least 18 months younger to at least 10 years older that fast. That is crazy. Right? I mean, honestly, it looks good. I think you look good with the reading glasses. I'm just saying. Thanks. You look distinguished.
Yeah. Well.
All right. Anyway, what do you got?
All right.
On this episode 39 of Here's My Question for You.
I'm going to go with the second one that I wrote down. I'm not feeling the first one.
Oh, you've got multiple triads of situations to choose from?
Well, I have two selections of 3 and one they had 2 that was like unfinished.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Go-karts.
Okay.
Roller coasters. Or water slides.
Wow. All right. I'll say this off the top. Roller coasters are an easy yeet. I hate those things.
Okay. I agree. Yeah.
But man, go-karts and water slides, that's tough. Okay, here
it's really tough.
Here all right. I'm going to get rid of water slides only because as an adult there is no way I'm going on a water slide. Like especially as a middle-aged guy. I mean, listen, if there were water parks that had like an adults only night or something, then okay. You know? Mm-hmm. But like I would feel like the biggest pedo if I showed up at a water park with no kids and was just like, I'm getting in line with the 12-year-olds to get on
Well, if you ever come here, we'll go to
slide.
Kings Island. They have like a gigantic water park.
All right. Maybe.
That is like you won't feel like that there, probably.
But anyway, I mean, go-karts. Go-kart. I wish, honestly, I say this honestly, I wish I owned a go-kart. There's a go-kart track near here where it's like, but it's like bring your own go-kart. Like it's an actual... It's not you know, a mini golf place. It's like a dedicated go-karting track where they have events there and like you can become a member and they give you a key to the gate and you can just bring your own go-kart down there anytime you want and you know.
That's badass.
Do
like it'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something about my father-in-law?
You can tell me anything about your father-in-law.
He has a number of like vehicles. He's been accumulating more and more vehicles. It started out with like I think it was a go-kart.
Yeah.
It's like a 2-person go-kart. And then he got this thing is like called like a Polaris where it's like kind of like an off-road vehicle that like you can drive around and haul things around. And then recently he got one that has like 6 wheels and it can like go in water.
Oh
too.
Man. That's pretty awesome. I mean, I couldn't have something like that around here. I'd have nowhere to drive that, but
I mean, they have like a big like they're just kind of like out in the middle of nowhere so they can do this stuff.
Oh yeah.
But it's funny because he's just like accumulating these like different vehicles and that's like one of his like things that he does like in his retirement is he just like gets these vehicles and maybe drives them around and but you know, the grandkids go there.
Yeah.
And like, you know, so many people can get their own vehicles now.
That's nice.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a good question though, but picking go-karts. Yeah. Not happy about eating the water slides. Perfectly content to yeet roller coasters. Those are horrible.
Yeah.
I haven't been on a roller coaster since I was my 13th birthday. Magic Mountain.
Oh yeah.
Southern California. Last time I was on a roller coaster.
Really?
Yeah.
It was just like a really bad experience.
No, I just hate roller coasters.
Yeah.
I think part of it, like when I was like 4 or 5 years old, my dad like kind of made me go on the Matterhorn at Disneyland, and I didn't want to do it. And I think it was like I did not enjoy it at all. And I think it kind of like I don't want to say it scarred me. It's not like I got molested, but like it completely turned me off to roller coasters. You know?
I mean, I don't like them either, but I think that I saw this movie when I was like homesick one day called Roller Coaster, and this guy sets a bomb. Yeah. On a roller coaster and blows a piece of the track off, and the roller coaster flies off. Yeah. And it's just like in my mind where the roller coaster flies off and it flips upside down. Yeah. All the people sitting up, so it's just like and it like slides along the pavement.
Yeah. So they all turn into like meat crayons.
Basically. Yeah. But I mean, this is like an older movie. Yeah. Probably didn't show like any of the real blood, but it's just the idea of that. Yeah. And I think that is like completely ruined roller coasters.
Makes sense.
For me. You know, it's the same thing where, you know, like I hate flying too. Oh. And I've gotten more and more used to it, but there's times where it's, you know, I just like really kind of freak out. I saw the movie Alive. Oh. When I must have been like in 6th grade or something like that.
You know, I wonder about stuff like that because, like, I don't like going into, like, water. Like, not a pool, but I mean, like, swimming in the ocean or in a big lake. And I saw Jaws when I was, like, 5, and I wonder how much that has to do with it.
Probably a lot.
Yeah.
Probably a lot.
I love the beach, though. I just don't want to get in the water.
Yeah. And, I mean, I got to just, like, don't like being, if I can't see anything.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's not a phobia, though. It's not like I won't do it. I just
but like if you like step on like a jellyfish or something like that.
Well, then you just got to have somebody pee on it.
Yeah,
everybody knows that.
Yeah. All right, is that going to do it for this week?
I think that's going to do it for episode 39, which is the age my wife has been for the last 5 or 6 years, 39.
We're going to hit 40. 40, we're officially... Is 40 like middle-aged?
I mean, technically, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the episode? Like an average lifespan is like what, like 72, 74?
Yeah.
So I mean, technically middle-aged is, you know, late 30s.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's
crazy to me.
It's just a label, you know? I don't feel middle-aged.
Hey, dude, man, you know? Age is just a number.
Exactly. I mean, as soon as we're done recording, I'm going to work on my Sega Saturn, you know? So.
There you go.
Yeah.
You should, you got any milk there? I heard it like really helps if you like pour some carton of milk like inside the Saturn. And
I think I have almond milk. Does that work?
There you go. Or? I mean, you just got to, you open up the carton. Like, if you want to, like, save some time, I like to open up the carton completely, get rid of all the folds, so it's just like a square, and then I just, because now you have that hole where the ODE is.
Yes.
So you can, like, really...
You mean the orifice?
The orifice. Yeah. You just got to dump that entire carton of milk in there.
Yeah.
And then...
does it make a difference, like full fat, 2%? Non-fat?
No, not really. No? Not really.
It's the protein that does the work, not the fat.
Yeah, then you just plug it in and...
Yeah.
It gives you like every Saturn game, and you don't even need to use any.
That'd be nice.
Because all that data is stored like in that milk.
As silly as it sounds, I feel like I have to defend myself real quick now, because someone's going to be like, "Oh, because I mentioned Whole Foods, now I have almond milk." The reason we have almond milk is just we were buying oat milk. Because, oat milk is just really good in coffee. Like, I like cow milk just fine. Yeah. Like, I will, if I had room for a cow, I would just do that and just get it fresh. But, like, oat milk lattes are really good, or I just make, like, a oat milk cafe au lait, But I was buying, like, the quote-unquote full-fat oat milk. And I will say, I was wondering, like, how does oat milk have fat in it? Because, like, oats don't really have that much fat. And I made the mistake of reading the ingredients on the oat milk carton. And the way they add fat to the oat milk is it has rapeseed oil in it, which I think is funny. If anybody doesn't know this, rapeseed is what canola oil is made out of. Because at some point, these people decided we're going to grow this plant that we can, get the grains or the seeds or whatever and make oil out of. but nobody's going to buy something called rapeseed. And so they came up with canola. We're going to call it canola oil, right? Instead
like the least
instead of rapeseed. But then if you have something like oat milk, right, and you're going to add canola oil to it, you don't want somebody reading the package and being like, why is there canola oil in my oat milk? So they decided that the lesser of two evils was to go back to calling it rapeseed. But anyway, I saw that there's rapeseed / canola oil in the oat milk, and it was just kind of off-putting. Like, not like there's nothing wrong with that stuff. It's not like it's bad. It's just weird. It's like, why are you adding?
How many meetings took place discussing that? You think?
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, how do we list this on there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Neither one of them. Like, we got to list this on. We got to list this.
Yeah.
One way or another.
Yeah. Like all in favor of canola, say aye. All in favor of rapeseed, say aye. Up the rapeseeds have it. So anyway, I decided I wasn't going to buy that anymore, and so we bought, just to see how it would taste, we bought some almond milk. Yeah,
almond milk is fine.
But what's funny is, so when I make a coffee, I just have Americanos, but mostly I've been making these for my wife. But I get the 2 shots of espresso, and then I add a little bit of water, and then I add almond milk, and then I still add half and half.
Oh, half and half, yeah.
I mean, that's normally what I put. Like when I make coffee, I just make an Americano, so it's like 2 shots, hot water, and then half and half.
Yeah.
But it was just the oat milk. Oat milk is very flavorful, so it added a nice flavor.
Yeah.
But then I found out about the rapeseed.
We used to have almond milk pretty often, but now the kids only would drink like whole milk all the time.
Good, that's the best
thing. But now they kind of like started wanting to drink skim milk, and it's like, well, I can roll with the skim.
Yeah.
So we just like
I like the whole milk. My wife, she doesn't care for milk. Upsets her stomach a little bit. So
whole milk is so good.
Yeah, we've discussed this before, but it is very.
It's like a dessert.
Yeah, 100%.
But
all right. Anyway, defense of my character is over.
Okay. Good job.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see everybody next Monday.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.